perhaps not the glamour tie for fantasy. Pittsburgh at Cleveland. We've got Dorian Thompson-Robinson under centre. We know that he struggled when he played earlier in the season. Do you think there's any upsides we can hope for the likes of Amari Cooper and Joku, or do you think this is just going to be one to avoid?
I think, well, for a start, we've got the over-under as 36.0, and just looking now, it's fallen since the lines opened down to 32.5. I believe it's the lowest projected game total in about 3 years. And it's just really hard to have much faith in any of this. As you mentioned, DTI completed 52% of passes for 121 yards and 3 interceptions in his last start against the Ravens. Now, the Steelers' defense isn't quite as good as the Ravens, but they're still a sort of top 10 unit. We've got, the Steelers allow the 4th most rushing yards per game at 111, 4.5 yards per carry. I think that's where the Browns have to be looking to attack this game. What we've seen out of Jerome Ford's been really positive. He's been getting more touches over the last few weeks. And I think that the Browns will lean heavily into that. I don't feel like it's too much of a downgrade for David Njoku. We've talked about how Deshaun Watson and him, it took them a while to get on the same page, but they did seem to be clicking. But over the last couple of years, he's been just as productive without Deshaun Watson as he has been with him. And then from the Pittsburgh side, I mean, it's really difficult. Deontay Johnson had a nightmare week last week. The Browns allow the 3rd fewest fantasy points to wide receivers. They're both teams are good against wide receivers on the boundary. They're more susceptible to sort of plays over middle. Cleveland, they've allowed the 6th fewest fantasy points to running backs. Even, on the back of Jalen Warren and Najee Harris looking good last week, it's tricky to know whether you can play them. And Cleveland have allowed the 3rd fewest fantasy points to quarterbacks. So I really struggle with this one. I feel like sometimes we don't need to get too cute. And if you don't need to play players from this, then I wouldn't bother. I'm sitting Deontay Johnson from a number of lineups this week because I just don't feel confident in Kenny Pickett to really push this game.
Yeah, it's one that I don't love. You know that I'm going to be starting Deontay Johnson. But whilst we're here, we've had a question in the chat, and I thought, what better opportunity than to share my trade calculator from my survival kit? If you're a member, you get access to this for free. So the question is, a 24 first, a 25 second, Christian Watson for T. Higgins. For me, I think it's too much to pay for T. Higgins. As you can see on there, even projecting that 24 first as late, I'd still lean to the picks and Watson side. Tom, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, definitely. Unless this is an offer that you're getting. If someone's offering you this to give up Higgins, I'd absolutely smash that. I mean, this feels like quarterback value kind of trade. But yeah, I wouldn't pay that for T. Higgins. I think it's been such a difficult time for fantasy managers to roster Higgins that I'd be looking to buy low rather than anything like that. But yeah, appreciate you here for the memes.
Yeah, absolutely. I love T. Higgins as a buy low. I think he's going to be an absolute star if he lands in a different situation. But I just think, yeah, that's too much to pay for T. Higgins right now. So I definitely lean the picks on the Watson side.